What if WarioWare Get It Together got paid character DLC? Honestly, I would love to see an additional batch of characters get added as either paid DLC or free DLC throughout the game's life. Honestly, like, a pack that adds in like 5-6 new characters and about, I don't know, even 50 to 100 new microgames for like $20, I would totally buy. Because that just sounds like it'd be good. But either way, I decided to come up with 5 ideas for characters. All of which, except for one, are returning characters who are all familiar to the WarioWare franchise. And in my opinion, some of these, none of these are really fan favorites, as almost every fan favorite character got in. So, several of these are more niche, and most of them are more recent characters, or ones I'm surprised didn't make it. But there really aren't any that are no duh, why isn't this in the game choices. With one exception that I audibly mentioned during my playthrough of the game with a friend. So, also I made custom renders for each of these. I just kind of edited artwork of characters, combined them together. I don't know, I think some of them look pretty good. There's like two or three I really like, and then there's ones that I don't really like. Overall, I think they turned out pretty decently, considering I spent like an hour on this in total. So let's get into it. First up is Wario Man. I'm honestly surprised we don't have a Wario alteration at all in this game. Be that Game Bug Wario from this game, Ultra Deluxe Wario from Gold, Wario Man from some of the early ones, Tiny Wario from Shake It. I'm honestly surprised there isn't a single alteration of Wario. If they wanted to be lazy, they could easily just make Wario Man as, like, basically just a reskin of Wario. With a few changed attributes. But since we're doing this as a hypothetical paid DLC, that ain't my style. So instead, Wario Man, yes, I'm going to do that every time, will actually be a grounded character, similar to characters like Young Cricket and Master Mantis. He'll control like them and be about the same speed as probably Cricket or Mantis. And when you press A, he'll do a shoulder bash. Wario Man is not capable of jumping, which seems like a problem, but if he hits a shoulder bash, he'll gain a good chunk of height against a wall or an object. I'd say about the height of one character. So basically, if he hit a wall, he'd get the height of where 9Volt's head is. And then you just keep repeating that to get height, and then if in the air, I don't know, you can hold up or something to kind of hover and keep that height. Overall, I honestly think that's a pretty decent setup for Wario Man. Wait, sorry. Wario Man! God, I can't believe I messed that up. But I'm surprised we didn't even get him as like an alternate costume. But next up is Frank. I'm honestly surprised Frank isn't playable. He's relatively iconic for the series, and even makes several appearances in this game alone. But overall, I could see Frank, yeah, I'm gonna keep calling him that, basically acting as kind of, you press A and another Frank will appear on your head. So you kind of have to, like, stack Franks to solve puzzles. And then if a Frank gets hit, it will get knocked off the totem of Franks. I don't know, that sounds so stupid, but it also honestly sounds like it might work. Because, like, imagine basically summoning another Frank to get over a ledge, and then just having to sacrifice the other Frank's life to get over a, like, small ledge. I honestly think that fits WarioWare pretty well. Basically just going, I summon thee, Frank! Thank you, Frank. Franck, I'm sorry. You must go on without me. No, Franck, I can't leave you behind. And that's my case for Franck. Next up is Leo, who is a really new character to the WarioWare series, who has only made his debut in WarioWare Get It Together in Cat and Anna's story. Yeah, I'm not joking. He's really new. But I could totally see working as a playable character. Plus, I actually have already grown a liking to Leo, even though he's only in the game for like a cutscene. And at that, it's probably my least favorite Cat and Anna campaign out of all the WarioWare games. I'm sorry, Smooth Moves was hilarious, and Gold was hilarious. I can think of those two off the top of my head. I can't remember given there wasn't really stories in the first game. But it may be the weakest, but honestly, I do really like Leo. He just has such a stunning design, and also a surprising amount of personality for how little we see of him, and I don't even believe he speaks a single line. So, why not? I could see Leo having an automatic jump like Cat and Anna. It seems by his design that he's probably about the same age, at most being grade 1, so probably super hyperactive and constantly jumping. Let's be honest. And I could see that you could basically press air to do a sonic spin jump. You would kind of just like do it like a slash in air that covers all around you. And perhaps if you do this on the ground, you can actually stay on the ground for a brief moment. Basically allowing you to somewhat control how long you're in the air. I don't know, this is probably a horrible idea, but I thought I'd suggest it. Because I kind of do like the idea, as much as I hate playing as Cat and Anna, like, if there was a basically way that you could kind of control Cat and Anna's mobility, and you could kind of control when they're on the ground or not, would basically just make them so much better. Actually, at that, maybe you press A to activate or deactivate, and if you press A in the air, he does like a claw attack. So, like, basically, if you press A, he'll start jumping. If you press A in the air, he'll do a claw attack, and then stop jumping when he lands on the ground. I think that would honestly make him a lot more fun than Cat and Anna, while playing very similarly to them. Now this has become a dissection of why I dislike Cat and Anna, which is weird considering they're honestly some characters I really love from this series, as they are adorable. Although I do hate how the older games, just their voice clip for saying Cat and Anna is just literally Katana. I understand their name's a pun, but their name is a pun. Their name is not a word. And also there's 2 of them. Next up is 13 Volt. Honestly, I really hate the render I made of her here. It looks ugly. I hate it. I'm gonna put it off screen. But I do like 13 Amp, despite her barely making a brief cameo in this, and only outside of this being in Golden. I'm honestly surprised she didn't make it. The only question is, would she still control like the Volts? The Volts have a distinct gimmick. They don't move. Yeah, it's not a very good gimmick. I hate it. Which is weird considering, yeah, actually, 5 Volts good, because she breaks everything, but she isn't fun, and then the other 2 suck in my opinion. But would 13 Amp follow that? I would say yes. Either having her kind of have to move on a beat, just kind of like do. Like she can only move in kind of like a metronome. Or she doesn't move, but instead transforms into the dragon graffiti from the bottom screen on the 3DS in WarioWare Gold in the 18-volt section. No, that's my only other idea. I don't know, I think it'd be kinda cool. I can't think of anything else. But if that is the case, I could see the dragon being very uncontrollable. And you kind of just have to hope, and then maybe her attack is when you transform back, it does a little burst like 5-volt. I don't know. That's my idea. Last but certainly not least, to the character that everyone demands needs to be in Super Smash Bros. Waluigi! Honestly, I'm surprised Waluigi's never even made a cameo in a WarioWare game. Like, why is he relegated to the Mario Sports titles? I feel like Waluigi is more iconic for being rejected from Smash at this point than he is from any game he's been in. So let's change that by putting Waluigi into WarioWare Get It Together. He'd be grounded and walk around like Cricket. And if you press A, he'd shoot a tennis shot, which would grab onto rings, or hit things like a projectile. Basically, think 18-volt, but you can't aim as much, but you can walk. If you hold up when you're about to shoot, you'll shoot a ball diagonally upwards. Down, you'll shoot it diagonally downwards. And if you don't press anything, you'll shoot it forwards. And perhaps if you're standing completely still, you can kind of bounce it off your racket and send it upwards a little bit. But obviously, when are you standing still in this game? It's WarioWare Get It Together. But honestly, I could see that being a pretty fun implementation of Wario and Waluigi. And let's be honest, Waluigi's most famous for his tennis racket. Actually, no, he's most famous for not being in Smash Ultimate. But I don't think that's gonna change. We have one DLC rep left. And honestly, I don't want to be proven wrong. I honestly don't want the final spot to be wasted on Waluigi. What do you guys think of my ideas? Did you like the ideas? Do you think any of these characters have a chance? Honestly, I think everyone except for Waluigi has a chance to get in as DLC. But if we were to get DLC, I could really only see 2 characters max. Because there isn't much more room. But who would you want to see? Would you like to just see more alternate costumes as well? And just have Wario Man be limited to that? And maybe even throw in Jimmy P as an alt for Jimmy? It's up to you guys. Tell me what you think.